Hey, good morning, my friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. I'm back in the USA after a nice little stay down in Baja, California. Ensenada, Tecate. Had such a great time down there, but there's so much going on that we got to get you caught up. Some really good fishing going on down there at Punta Colonette. San Diego-based boats are headed down that way. We're going to talk about that. Of course, we'll talk about the local bite in Southern California. We'll talk Guadalupe Island. We're going to talk a little bit about Cedros Island. We've got so much for you here this morning. You know what time it is, everybody. It is time for the morning briefing. Good morning to you all. Oh, I just had to do that. I'm going to hang on to my coffee. You mind? Might take a little sip from time to time. Once again, we just completed a trip down to Baja, California. Went to go to a meeting with the Mexican government officials. Got to see my good friend Victor Mendez, super good guy, head of sport fishing for Baja, California. Him and I had quite a conversation about U.S.-Mexican relations and islands and everything else. So that was really nice. And moreover, it was just great to see my friends. Speaking of another Victor from Blackfin, his lovely wife, Junior, got to hang out with them. And Diego Nuno, who is a deckhand on the Royal Star, it was great to see him, spend some time with him. Diego and I are working on getting a lot of clothing and a lot of stuff to Cedros Island, and so that is all in the works right now. We hope to accomplish that very, very soon. We were able to buy a bunch of food and other goods for an orphanage between Tecate and Ensenada out in the Valle de Guadalupe, so it was really a lot of fun, and my thanks to everybody who made our stay so good. And Louis Prieto, an American guy that moved down to Baja, California about 15 years ago. He opened a bar, started a sport fishing business, and I'll tell you right now, he is a great guy, and you're going to love his interview. Make sure you check it out right now. You're going to love to hear how much apartments cost in Mexico, how much food is, how sport fishing is, what it's like to run a bar, how you can join him in his bar and talk fishing and talk sports. Louis Prieto, a great guy. By the way, let me just remind you all to hit that like button. We deeply appreciate it when you do that. Hit the bell and you'll be notified when there's new comment. And of course, subscribe to Friedman Adventures. Sharing these videos really helps us grow, and our growth has been astronomical, and that's all thanks to you. Am I going to get doused here this morning? Kind of looks like it, doesn't it? All right, let me start you out by taking you to the long range scene, where boats like the Red Rooster 3, the Intrepid, the Independence have good fishing on bigger grade yellowfin tuna, sprinkling a wahoo in there also, but their fishing has been pretty darn steady on that bigger yellowfin tuna, and that is great to see. Down in Cabo San Lucas, our dear friend Sean Morgan, he used to run boats here for decades, good friend of mine. He runs the Wild and Sack out of San Jose del Cabo, and he says the striped marlin bite down there is real scratchy now. It was wide open a few weeks ago, but right now it's scratchy. Hopefully that's going to kick back into gear here very, very soon, and just a little bit of Dorado. We'll hope that that continues to progress in the right direction. I mentioned Guadalupe Island, and just to summarize, and I'll go into greater detail in the future, it is closed. It seems like it's going to be closed for the next, or for a 5-year period, so for several more years, let's put it that way, and we're hoping that someday that's going to open up again. The reason? To protect the great white shark. So no comment on that. I mean, I don't see the fishing guys, the divers, or anybody else hurting the great white sharks, but what do I know? I'm just doing the morning briefing here. All right, let's get you up to the San Martin Island area, and that's San Quintin. It's 140 miles down below the border in that neck of the woods. Still good yo-yo, iron, yellowtail fishing, and copious amounts of rockfish. Now we get you down to Punta Colonette, and that's 120 miles down below the border, and the best way to get there is on one of the San Diego-based boats that are running these day-and-a-half trips. And I'll tell you, those are spectacular trips. They're a lot of fun. Not only do you load up on the rockfish, but you have a very good chance for a yellowtail. And while that bite has not manifested itself quite yet, it offers some great opportunities. Now, the Pegasus. Man, I've got a great history with that boat. Used to fish it with Joe Chade. I love that rig. It's so comfortable. And Captain Jacob is carrying on the tradition out of Fisherman's Landing and doing a great job. He's leaving Friday night at 6 p.m. back in at 6 a.m. on Sunday morning. Destination 120 miles down the Baja coast to Colonet. You can see some of the great fish he's been catching down there recently, and I love that schedule of leaving at 6. You're there at daybreak, ready to rock and roll. You're back in early on Sunday morning for a fish taco feast for your family and friends. It's absolutely perfect. Pegasus going this Friday, 6 p.m., back in Sunday morning at 6 a.m. And the price on that boat, well, you can see, but it includes all your licenses, your food. It's really a fantastic deal. And I'm telling you, you're going to enjoy the Pegasus. They are going regularly down the Baja coast, fishing Colonet, and Jacob and I are in touch, and we'll be sharing information with you all. Now, in terms of the yellowtail bite down there, I just mentioned it has not shown up yet, but that is only a matter of time. They're catching it 20 miles south of them, so you know there's forkies around. Those fish are best taken by using the yo-yo iron. It works so good on those yellows down there in that neck of the woods. And trust me, while you haven't seen any big catches yet, they're right there knocking on the door. The boys just need to get out a few more times. They'll locate that stuff, find it, and then they'll start providing both of those opportunities too. Great rockfish and yellowtail. I don't know how you can beat that. Ensenada local friends down there, Victor from Blackfin, Diego Nuno, Costa Baja sport fishing, Arnie sport fishing, good amounts of rockfish and lingcod, whitefish and sheepshead and vermilions and treefish and you name it. They got it down there. It's been really, really good here recently. So you can find those guys, of course, on Facebook, Blackfin and Arnie Sport Fishing and Costa Baja Sport Fishing. Really great opportunities down there. And I got to tell you, Baja hospitality is a real thing. Had such a great trip down there on our recent trip, and we plan on being down there a lot more and doing a lot more work down there. And you know, we've been doing this for many years, decades as a matter of fact, sending goods down to the people of Mexico. It's a way of us saying thank you for letting us fish your pristine and bountiful waters. And it's not a quid pro quo, okay? I mean, there's some closures going on, there's you know, all kinds of political stuff going on. We're not involved in that. We are just trying to say thank you, do the right thing. And so if Mexico were to close more areas, we're going to still ship down clothing. We firmly believe that that is the right thing to do, and we'll continue to do that. Now, up here in the local areas, remember San Diego-based boats like the Premier, they cross the border Monday through Friday on extended half day, half day, because Rockfish is open in Mexico. So they're able to take advantage of that. Really, rock fishing never closes in San Diego with Mexico right next door. So that is a viable option for you. The rest of Southern California, Rockfish is closed until April the 1st. So what you're going to want to do is get out and try to catch some sand or calico bass. You can catch some sculpin, some whitefish. While not wide open, it's still pretty good right now. And if you fish hard on the bass, you can get it done. We like Opsin fluorocarbon, www.opsinusa.com. Put in FA at checkout and you'll get a love note from Greg Brown as well as a free gift. Fishing hard means that when you get a bite on a sand bass or even a calico bass in the wintertime, unless you're on the kelp line, those fish are living on structure and they require that you pull hard because they are going to come out, bite your bait, come out of their little crevice or the window of a boat, a sunken ship. They're going to bite your bait and they're going to go right back in there and then you are toast, okay? So when you get a bite and you feel that rod load up, you need to be winding fast, and sometimes you get sawed off before you know what happened. It's part of the game. It's part of the fun. So some good bass fishing, especially out of Marina del Rey sport fishing. The Monte Carlo is going to be out here out of 22nd Street Landing, Long Beach-based boats, Pier Point. Those guys are all out doing it. At times they have some good fishing. Most of the time we're hovering at about a fish per rod, maybe less than that. And then good sculpin fishing in many different areas. And also, look at that flat calm ocean, except for this pounding surf. But you get out there a little ways and it's absolutely gorgeous here at sunrise in SoCal. It is a great time to get out and do some whale watching. And that's one of the things, when you're out on a local boat, you're catching fish, you're watching whales, you're seeing dolphin. It's just part of the mystique and the appeal that makes this so great. It's such a wonderful sport, and I hope you can get out and do it soon. Tonight, the Danny Cadota Show on Friedman Adventures here on YouTube. Special guest is Pete Demers, who was the longtime trainer for the Los Angeles King. But Pete not only can talk hockey, he can also talk fishing. Loves fishing. He fishes in the Independence a lot, fishes any chance he gets, and he loves Baja also. He's down in Ensenada and several areas down there. Pete Demers tonight on Friedman Adventures YouTube channel. That should be fantastic. All right, my friends, my little tootsies are freezing, and I didn't get doused this morning, so I made it through. Don't forget, some exceptional weather it looks like. There's not much wind at all, and the Pegasus is gone. Love that boat. Food's so good, the service, customer service is excellent, and the fishing has been stupendous down there. Just add some yellowtail. Trust me, that's right on the horizon, and it's going to be spectacular. But for right now, copious amounts of rockfish. All right, my friends, don't forget Fred Hall Show coming up. Bart Hall Show, pardon me, in San Diego. Make sure you say hi to Bart and all the folks down there for me. And of course, I hope to see you really, really soon again. Take care, my friends. See you tonight on another edition of Friedman Adventures Live with Danny Cadota. Have a great day. Not sure what the hell I saw.
Let me go look at it. We're gonna slide to a stop here. We got bluefin crashing on fish coming underneath the boat. Yeah, he just hooked one.
Coming through, coming through. Leader's here. Corner, corner. Boom! Way to go, man. Adventures on the Malahini. Oh. In the end, Martin Padilla conquers this big, beautiful bluefin tuna with his spinning reel, leaving celebration time. All right, nice one. Rock fishing is closed in Southern California until April the 1st, but you can still go south of the border, visit our good friends at Blackfin Sport Fishing in Punta Banda. If you're headed to Tecate, Baja, California, you can't drive by Los Amigos Carne Asada Tacos. They are so good. George Feldman and I were on our way to Ensenada, but we had to stop for breakfast. That's right, breakfast. They fill those burritos and tacos with copious amounts of carne asada, and most importantly, the people who dine there and the people who work there are so delightful to spend time with. Don't miss going to Los Amigos Tacos in Tecate. You will love it.
Typical jigging is basically just keeping your jig straight up and down.
Yeah.
With these rods, they help you pull on fish a little bit better. It's kind of a lot of fish this year doing this on the pump. Got the acid wrap rods.
Yep.
Helps the line get a little bit better. I also got my line marked every 100 feet on my reel, so I know how deep to put the jig and where to work the water column and everything like that.